Recent reports have suggested that 1 in 3 millennials will never own their own home. So Hertfordshire-based B3 Living is aiming to find solutions in an area of the country where people of all ages are becoming increasingly priced out of the housing market and where demand is outstripping supply. Sharon Thomas finds out more.
Here in Broxbourne in Hertfordshire, the average property costs £290,000. That's 9 times the average local salary. And at the moment, there are 1,400 families waiting to be housed.
There's just something about new builds being fresh and clean.
For Phil Draughty, owning a property is a lifelong ambition. He's 27, works full-time, but knows that being able to call somewhere like this home is probably an aspiration too far. Recent research suggests that a third of millennials like Phil will be renting all their lives.
Owning a house is a goal of mine, however at this moment in time it's looking like a distant dream, to be honest. I work hard to save to own my own house, however at this moment in time, being single on myself, that's not reasonable. There are other opportunities such as shared ownership or maybe living in a rented accommodation.
So Jay, what can be done to solve the housing crisis?
I think first we need to recognise that there's been a housing crisis since 1966 when Cathy Come Home was filmed, a film about homelessness, and there's still one in 2018, and there's been homeless crises on and off throughout. We've built hundreds of thousands of homes and housed lots of people, but we haven't solved the thing that's causing that. We're addressing the symptom rather than the cause.
Joe Chambers has been working in social housing for more than 20 years. He now heads up a small housing association in Hertfordshire, which owns more than 5,000 properties here and in neighbouring Essex. It's a wealthy area, but has the second highest level of homelessness in England. His mission is to give his 15,000 residents better life opportunities through fit-for-purpose housing in the areas where they're most needed.
B3 are thinking carefully about what's required by the community in which they work. So we're doing we're trying to understand who lives in our communities, how much they earn, how much they can afford, what housing stock is like, what the condition of the stock is like, and in a very tight geographical area, providing what's needed by the market, rather than just buying a piece of land and building whatever we can fit on it.
The government has a target to build 1 million new homes across England by 2020. Here in the southeast, it's anticipated there'll still be a shortfall of more than 100,000. By 2021, 1 in 4 of all households will be renting in the private sector.
If we do nothing, the crisis is only going to get worse because population is increasing, older people are living longer, we have more split families, and crucially, what is being built is not necessarily what's needed. And developers build for profit. So it's crucial that we all get together, each part of the marketplace, to find a different way of doing things.
What else needs to be done? What would you like to see happen next?
I'd really like for the great and the good of the housing world to think about housing in a systemic way, rather than thinking about how many houses we can build. We've tried that and it hasn't really worked that well. What we need to do is think about how to address the system of the housing market, land values, cost of building, and where people actually want to live and the sorts of homes they need to live in, rather than what generates profit for shareholders.
I would like to see government really concentrate on the rented sector, both social and private, where 40% of the population live, and less emphasis on home ownership as the final solution, because it never can be.
My aim is to one day own my own house. However, people from my generation may have to accept they will have to rent for the rest of their lives.
What we really need to work towards is stop using homes as investments and use them as places to live. We all need somewhere to live.
B3 Living, aiming to future-proof our housing stock to provide quality, affordable homes, something that's essential for us all and the communities we live in.